Hello, welcome back. I'm your host, Doc Bernhardt. Today we're going to be discussing, as I promised yesterday, Halo, with the recent announcement of the Halo 1 remake. I think it's only for the campaign, going to not only Xbox, but PlayStation. A historic event, which is very interesting and very different for me because I've always known, even back then growing up, not really playing the Halo series, that it's always been on the Xbox. It's been on Microsoft. And now that we're at a point where this is happening, people aren't really caring too much about the console wars and all that. I figure I'd talk about my story with Halo and how I became a fan. And to start off, I'm going to tell a small story at the beginning of how I actually got my first ever Xbox. I got my first ever Xbox 360 back then when I was 8. I think it was right after I turned 18, and I had gotten my Xbox 360 from a youth group, actually. And I was part of this youth group for a little bit, and I think at least over close to a year, a little further than that, and a little over a year, I'll say. And at that time, they closed down this little snack thing where they were, this little area where they would sell snacks, drinks, and stuff like that you could get from somebody working the stand there. And under that stand was, ironically, the Xbox 360 in question. And I was wondering, what's this doing down here? It's not being used. I don't know. And I'm kind of hoping I could take it home. Let's be honest, because that'd be great. And at the time, I didn't really have, money for an Xbox One. And I'm thinking, this will be nice. Hey, it's a free console, still works, hopefully, and we'll find out. And I asked around. I asked the youth pastor. I asked some of the youth leaders, and they said, yeah, no, it's not being used. You're more than welcome to take it. And I'm like, okay. Took it home. Didn't have any games for it yet. Set it up. And, took it home and set it up on my TV, my Sharp flat screen TV. Worked pretty well. Didn't have any games for it, like I said, and was excited to start playing some. So I think a couple of days after, maybe a week or so after, my grandmother on my father's side took me and my brothers to a Goodwill type of store where they were selling stuff at a cheaper price. And they had a game section, and they had a bunch of old Xbox 360 games that nobody wanted. And one of those was a copy of the original Halo 3. And I distinctively remember looking at that case. I remember having a memory of walking by that case when I was 8 years old, when it came out. And, or maybe 6 years old, I can't quite remember. And seeing that and walking past that case, seeing Master Chief on the front, just like having a full circle moment and realizing, wow, I'm really actually about to be playing my first Halo game. And when I got home and got it set up, played the campaign for the first time. I didn't get through all of it just yet, but a little bit later on I did. And I played it. I also played it with my little brothers. They enjoyed it. We played multiplayer and enjoyed it. Heck, my parents even played, ironically enough, and they liked it. My own mom enjoyed playing Halo, despite the fact that she grew up playing Mario Brothers and playing on the NES, never really caring for first-person shooters like that. And it was an enjoyable time for me at that time, living in Plano, Texas at that time. And I mean, of course, I had other moments that were enjoyable. Of course, being part of the youth group there and also being integrated in the church somewhat. And that we were currently at that time. Really enjoying the time that I had, but distinctly having good memories of Halo 3. And by the time 2020 hit and I was done and I had dropped out from a Bible college called CF Night, my family had decided to move back to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And at the time, I was kind of resistant to it. Didn't really want to go, but I knew I couldn't really do anything about it because legally, even though technically I was legally an adult, I wasn't mentally ready. I wasn't mentally prepared, and I wasn't financially prepared, to be honest. And we ended up moving in there in May of 2020 while all the ridiculous pandemic bullcrap was happening. And I believe, let's say July, before a certain church event over at Rhema happened, a camp meeting. It was in July. I met two of the first friends I had really had a bond with for the first time in a couple of months. And eventually, kind of bringing them into it and got invested into playing Halo. Eventually, later on, as I spent more time with them, we became closer and made more friends. I eventually ended up buying a copy of Halo Reach, actually. And I remember hearing reviews about it, watching some of those reviews, got spoiled some things, I won't lie, but didn't really matter in the whole case of things because I didn't know the structure of the campaign quite yet. And so I went in, not necessarily blind, but just expecting, I would enjoy it. And I went through the campaign of Halo Reach at the age of 20 years old, played through it, enjoyed every bit of story just squeezed out of the campaign. Had my fill, enjoying each member of the nobility, and being able to see each individual. And mind you, I preface the spoilers because this is also like you've heard it before, but it's a several-year-old game. But I remember each member dying in a specific way that catered to who they were. And was emotional for Carter, was emotional for George, because those were the two I really attached myself to. And the other, not that Kat was a bad character, I just didn't really quite connect. I mean, not for the fact she's a female. It's just there's just some aspects of her I couldn't quite connect with. And she was still a good character, and it was sad to see her get killed by the stray needle or assassin needle, whatever it was. Whether it was intentional or not, I liked the fact that they did not make war a game. They made you see when you're fighting about it, even with these super soldiers, the Spartans, they're basically space super soldiers. Despite the fact that they have all these incredible abilities installed with them. And if you know anything about Halo lore, about the Spartan 3s, these guys were nuts. They could do a whole lot. They were still human, and they could lose their mortal lives. And seeing that happen to each individual, including the player character, and having the last mission. Gosh. Last mission. Survive. It was hard to watch at first, but I knew in order for the actual Halo story to progress, it would have to happen to all of them, because Reach was a fantastic game. Not only story-wise, but mechanics-wise, multiplayer-wise, because I remember spending so much time after beating the campaign for the first time playing with friends. And specifically a friend of mine, I'm not going to give names, we'll call him T-Bird. You'll like that one if he sees this. We'll call him T-Bird. Me and my friend T-Bird, we had a bit of competitive nature with each other. We were each other's rivals, but in a good way. You know what I mean? We just, at any moment, at any time, we would just get better at the game and beat each other over and over, and just have a great back and forth and learn new mechanics about the game. And just became better at it. Maybe not to the point to where we could actually go, decently well in a ranked match, but to a point to where we were competing really, really hard against each other. And I remember playing Boardwalk, and I forgot what was the one with the rocket ship in it. It was a fantastic map, and then the other one where it looks like a hotel. I don't know what it is, but it's a bit of a smaller map, and it had 3 levels. I forgot the name of it, but it was a fun map, and enjoying going from the campaign and playing multiplayer was awesome. I enjoyed my time with it, and I do not regret ever playing Reach for the first time. And also at that time, I think we were getting closer and closer to having Infinite being announced. I think it was 2022 when it happened, or 2021 when it was announced for the first time, and seeing some of the gameplay, I'm like, oh man, I'm actually excited about this. I actually want to play this, because I'm now a Halo fan. And I also, at the time, bought Halo 3 ODST. What a really cool concept of a game. What an interesting concept of the game, of going from super soldiers to basically on the ground or paratroopers, or space paratroopers, if you think about it. Because it means ODST, for those who do not know, it means Orbital Drop Shock Trooper. What a cool name. And it made me really enjoy the music of Halo from Marty O'Donnell when he was part of Bungie. When he made music, it just added to the gameplay. Hearing the Halo theme for the first time, hearing Rain from ODST for the first time, that's like still my favorite track. Heck, I would not be surprised if it's anybody else's favorite track. It's a wonderful mix of jazz and somber sounding music. It was great. And eventually, when it was time, I ended up actually getting an Xbox One from a buddy of mine from Plano, Texas, back in 2021. Excuse me. And I had more access to other games and still played them. I played Borderlands, I played all these different SPSs, played Call of Duty, played COD Zombies, and eventually started playing other platformers, and just really enjoyed what I did. Enjoyed what I played at the time, and then also, more importantly, going through college at that time, and enjoying the time that I had with my friends, going through ups and downs with them, and seeing where life was going to take us, and more importantly, where the Lord God Almighty was going to take us at that time. And I really do believe in, and this is from my perspective, I really do believe God administered to help me get through those moments, through those games, through my friends, and more importantly, through the school that I went to. And no place is perfect. Rhema's not perfect, and I'm not going to go into that. But I enjoyed my time there, and I thank them for ministering to me and helping me move forward as a Christian. And being able to learn to enjoy things for what they are, and not just be obsessed with them. Because at the time, I was learning to kind of just wane off gaming and have other interests. Like, being able to learn how to cook and all that, and enjoy wrestling again, like as I talked about in my last video. But anytime I think of Halo, I have fond memories. And I still do. I still think of Halo fondly, and the fact that we're getting to the point of having Halo on a PlayStation console for everybody else to enjoy, to be introduced to a great story, great gameplay, great graphics even. Because like at the time when Halo Combat Evolved came out, it was some of the most high-tech graphics they had at the time. And now that we're having something similar to it happen again for this game, it's actually crazy. And now as I look back and seeing all this different stuff happen, and it's amazing. Now, I'm gonna explain my time with Infinite a little bit. I enjoyed Infinite. I didn't really want to touch 4 or 5 because it's just like, oh, I heard so much. It didn't feel like Halo or something like that. They made too many changes, and the guys at 343 Studios kept on making mistakes, stuff like that, and then eventually updated to where it's an okay game now. I just didn't really want to touch those games, to be honest. To be perfectly clear with you, I did not want to touch those games. And then when Infinite came out, I remember installing it for the first time, the multiplayer. I didn't get the campaign. Not yet. Heck, I haven't even beaten the Infinite campaign yet. And I remember enjoying myself playing that. The gameplay was smooth, the mechanics were great, and being able to just enjoy time with friends playing that was great. And it felt like just playing old Halo again. It really did. Because it didn't change too much. It had equipment, it had stuff. It felt like a more updated version of 3, and people might get mad at me for saying this, but genuinely, it felt like an updated version of 3. With the way that they used the equipment, the way that they had the game set, the weapons, although a little different, they have different weapons. I just remember enjoying my time with it. And then eventually, unfortunately, and it kind of fell off, more so due to the fact that I was spending too much money on it for like battle pass stuff, and I was like, okay, I need a break from the game. And it used to get me mad a lot more often, and that was most of the time when I played multiplayer by myself. But when I played with friends, it made it a lot more fun for me. And seeing that now that Halo Infinite was in a worse place, and now it's in a better place, a decent place now. And playing it recently just sparked interest again. And I really enjoyed my time with Infinite, but I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. I may play multiplayer, but I don't know. We'll see. Heck, I might make a video about it one day and hopefully get the right equipment to record the gameplay, because I'd like to do that. I like to do some gameplay videos, not just do discussion videos too. Although I enjoy doing this. Eventually, I hope to do gameplay video at some point. But with all that being said, I'm looking forward to the future for Halo. I hope it's good. I don't know if I'll be playing it. I don't know where I'll be. But I hope it's good. I hope people enjoy it. I hope it's really good on the PlayStation. I hope it's really good for Xbox players. I hope it's cross-platform so both can interact with each other and make it easier so we can have, instead of having this just sectioned off, way of playing, we can share game servers from different consoles. And I like that. It makes it easier for people to connect that way. And now that we're getting to that point where game companies are maybe getting towards that point, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. Every game company's different. And there's problems. Look, I'll acknowledge this. There's a lot of gaming problems going on. But guess what? There's also a lot of actual worldly problems going on as well. And just having something different. Having something that actually looks great. And has the possibility of just bringing different sets of gamers together. That's always great. And I will always enjoy that. And now that we're at that point, and now that we're just sitting there, I look forward to the future. I don't know about you, I do. I don't know what all's going to happen. I don't know what will be done for the series, but I hope it will be good. My expectations of it are, when they release the campaign part, I hope they release multiplayer. I hope they do, because like Halo 1 multiplayer was legendary back then. What was more legendary though was Halo 2's multiplayer, which is funny because I never really, I'll say this much about Halo 2. It's a fantastic game, gameplay wise and story wise, but it never really stuck with me like it was with 3 or 1 or Reach or ODST for that matter. I still need to probably play through it at some point and finish it. I do need to do that. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Maybe go through it. Maybe if I have the right equipment, maybe I'll record a Let's Play of Halo 2. Kind of go blind in it, because I'm halfway through it. But it was on my old save file, so I might just end up restarting it, just doing it on the remastered mode, and just play through Halo 2 that way. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever I'm able to do, whatever equipment I have, I don't know. We'll see. But I do look forward to it. And last thing I'm going to talk about, honestly, is I hope this is a chance for other game companies to at least see something better. Because look, the company that I grew up with the most was Nintendo, and heck, matter of fact, I might do a video on that. I might do another video on that. I don't know, but I'll say this much. I'm disappointed in Nintendo, and I'm not happy with what they're doing. I'm not happy that you have to get an arm and a leg just to pay for one console and a game, which is ridiculous. And I hope with this new remaster, they're not going to try to scalp us with this ridiculously high thing. Mind you, I think the limit now is like $70 for a game. I just hope they're smart enough to say, like, okay, since this is only the campaign, let's mark it down to maybe $40. Let's hope so. If not, at most 50 or 60. I mean, I would genuinely be happy if they did put it down to 40, because that's what most gamers are going to afford. That's what most gamers are going to be able to afford. And some of those guys that have the money to pay it out are going to be like, well, I got a little bit more extra to actually do other stuff with, you know? But that all depends on the companies. And look, Microsoft's Microsoft. We don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they finally kind of leaned away from certain stuff, and hopefully they'll start doing that more with this and not add weird battle passes if they do add a multiplayer, and just do it the old-fashioned way and just have a progression system, have an XP system, and not have to pay for anything. That's what I would like to see. Have a progression system in the game for multiplayer, if they have that, to where it's completely progression based, and this is probably something everybody else would agree, because that's, I believe, how Reach did it and created its own currency to where you didn't have to buy anything and not have microtransactions. And that's all up on them. Also, I hope, one other thing that I hope they add new stuff to it. I hope they add maybe some removed weapons from the original game, add some newer stuff from the newer games. Maybe not a whole lot of it to where it doesn't feel like the original Halo, but to a point to where, okay, cool. Honestly, if they're able to do it, have the equipment kind of make sense within the story. If they're able to do it, and not just have like infinite equipment just like that. And if they don't have equipment at all, great. Hey, cool. That'd be great. I'd like to see that. And I would expect not only that, maybe if they can, maybe bring back Marty O'Donnell for music. And let's just play classic Halo in a new way. And enjoy it again for a whole new generation across platforms. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see some unity. I'd like to see some stuff. Unity, excuse me. I would like to see some togetherness in the gaming community for once. Because we're already separated enough. It's kind of funny. It's the same thing with Christianity. There's a lot of branches. Christianity, just like there's a lot of branches in gaming community. It's so weird how we humans are. How we break off into these cliques and niches for game series. In the same way that Christianity breaks off. It's so weird. It's like there's a part of us that wants to stay separated. But I know there's also a part of us that wants to stay together. And what I'm hoping to see through this remake, like I said, is a chance for people to get together, to play a well-made game with new stuff, but it feels familiar. That is what I hope to see. And I hope that's what you see too. And I just don't bring up a lot of what I believe in into this just to try to get it related and try to get everybody all into it. But this is who I am. This is who I am. I am a Christian who enjoys games. I am a Christian who enjoys games, good stories, and I hope this doesn't deter you from watching my videos. I don't. It shouldn't. And I invite everybody to watch these. I do. Because I want to encourage, I want to entertain, I want to start discussions. I want people to be together. And that's what I hope to do with this video. And I whoever's watching this, I thank you for watching. I thank you for giving me the time to watch some ding-dong in a green hat drive around in his cheap Compass, talking about stuff he enjoys, talking about the generation. I thank you. Thank you, whoever you are. And God bless you. And with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for watching.